He's the head football coach over at Southern University. And guess what, people? It's that time of the year, Jaguar Nation. So nobody better than to talk about this time of year than the head man himself, my man, Coach Terrence Graves. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to wake up. Today I'm a little sluggish this Saturday. Typically not what I am on a Saturday morning, but I'm trying to shake it, Coach.
Well, you gotta get up when the rooster crows.
Have you actually been up and seen that rooster crow in the morning?
Yes, I have. My father and mother were from. My father was from rural South Carolina. My mother was from rural Virginia, and we grew up in the inner city of Norfolk, Virginia. And when we got in junior high and high school, my dad made a declaration that he gave us all the dogs we wanted when we was growing up, and he wanted to enjoy some of his upbringing, so he bought some roosters from the country to the inner city. And my brother and I shared a room on the back of the house and of the backyard. So definitely I heard it. We heard it constantly, seen it, and everything. So, oh yeah, I know about the rooster crow.
Was they some mean roosters?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he wound up having to kill one because he attacked my baby sister one time.
Yeah, I had an uncle say that they walk around, they call it yard pimp for a reason, the way that
That's
rooster
right.
walk around strutting with his stuff.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know, as we get ready into football season, man, we're talking about fall camp and, you know, SWAC Media Day has come and gone. And for you, what was the experience like for SWAC Media Day to get up and, you know, members of the media from all across the country, you sitting on the main stage with Tiff and Jay Walker, but just to be able to sell your program and talk about what's happening?
Oh, definitely a blessing. I really enjoyed it. You know, I look forward to have the opportunity to get before the media and talk about Southern University football. You know, I know that part of being the head football coach is being an ambassador for the university and the athletic program. So, and I'm not afraid of the camera. So I enjoy it. I look forward to meeting and talking with the media and really talking about Southern University football.
And then you go into the MEAC SWAC Challenge press conference over in Atlanta. You get a chance to sit down with who's going to be across the field from you coming up in just a few weeks in Trey Holly, who we all know was the defensive coordinator here at Southern. He's won a Black College National Championship at North Carolina Central. And interesting enough, the two teams who are playing this year in Southern and North Carolina Central were both one game away from the Celebration Bowl last year. So to have that type of matchup to start the season this year, your thoughts in talking about North Carolina Central and being able to promote that game, which is going to be, as I always talk about, with the bright lights and everybody watching on ABC for the MEAC SWAC Challenge.
It's going to be a great game. Excited to be a part of it. We're excited. We're preparing to get ready. You know, Trey, Coach Oliver, he and I go all the way back to our college days in the CIAA. Of course, me being at Winston-Salem State, him at North Carolina Central. And then we came up in the coaching ranks. I'm a little older than he is, but, you know, both of us are Virginia guys, and we know one another, really good friends. And, you know, but at the end of the day, both of us are trying to, you know, to put our programs at the top. And, you know, when it's on game day, you know, we're going to be friendly and homeboys and all that. But when they kick it off, you know, we're going to go at each other. And that's just how it's going to be. So we're excited. We're looking forward. We know that he's going to be fired up, and they're going to have a well-coached team ready to go. And we're going to be fired up and well-coached, and we're going to be ready to go.
You know, I want to ask this to you, Coach, because last year was your first season as the head coach at Southern University and your first season through a long career of just being an assistant coach throughout college football. But you go 8-5, 7-1 in conference play last year, and then, you know, it'd be totally different if you was 5-8 and 1-7. But the fact you made a SWAC championship berth in year one, where do you go to build, and what is the momentum and the motivation to build into year two coming off of that type of season that you had in year one?
I thank God for the success that the program had, but I'm not complacent. Last year was last year. We didn't win the championship, the SWAC championship, nor the Celebration Bowl, so there's always something to work for. And so, walking off that field in Jackson, after that SWAC championship game, my mindset, by the time I hit the locker room, my mindset was on getting ready for next year and how we can get back to the championship game and how we'll finish the way that we did finish last year. And so that's been the goal. When we got it back in January, when the guys got back from school, we had our first meeting. First thing I said was, our goals for this year is to start in Atlanta with a win and end in Atlanta with a win. Those are goals. We're going to set those goals. Now, how we obtain and achieve those goals, it's going to be how hard we work, how hard we execute, how hard we commit to being great every single day in what we do. And if we do that, then we increase our chances of being successful, reaching those goals.
As you talk about reaching those goals, what are you finding out for the personal goals for yourself as a coach? It's one thing to put it on the young men and the team and the coaches, but what about yourself, accountability and holding yourself to some goals that you say, you know what, I got to accomplish for myself personally this year?
Well, I just want to be better. I say a prayer every day, Lord, help me to be better and be greater than I was the day before.
Me too,
and so
Coach. Me too.
I want to be greater from the standpoint and everywhere, from a father, from a coach, from a mentor, from whatever. Whatever I want to be better. And I want to get these guys to another level. I want to get them to another level spiritually, mentally, physically, academically, athletically, trying to push them to get to a level that I know that they can obtain if they really, really, really stay dedicated and focused. So that's the challenge for me every single day, is to how can I get these guys better each and every day, and those are goals I set for myself.
Fall camp is upon us. The team shows up. You get everybody ready to go to get ready for the football season. What's day one Terrence Gray's fall camp like?
Oh, it was exciting. It was exciting. Guys are flying around like typical first day. A lot of high energy guys were excited, ready to get out there and get it on. It was really, really high energy. Guys were flying around, making spectacular plays on both sides of the ball. And so, it was good. That's usually what you have the first day. If you don't have that the first day, then you got real reasons for concern. And so, our thing is we're going to be detailed about the details. That's what we talk about. We're going to be detailed about the details because we gotta make sure that the things that we didn't do well last year, we got to be better. And the things that we did well, we got to do even better this year.
As we look and coming into the season, of course, it's going to be a quarterback battle that everybody's looking forward to seeing who's going to come out, because you've added some depth to that room, obviously depth to the running back room, and just looking at depth as this team. And I got to ask you, for you as a head coach, is there a favorite part of being a head coach for you? Is it managing the game? Is it developing players? Is it just getting into that recruiting and the transfer portal and the high school level and finding that talent? What part seems to be the most entertaining for you as a head coach?
I love it all, Terry. I love it all. It's no one thing that I value more than the other, because all those things that you just spoke about, all those things make you a football coach, or it should make you a football coach. You got to love every aspect of what you're talking about: recruiting, developing, coaching, teaching. All those things you have to love to do. If you don't, then why are you doing?
Looking at this big story of the week, I got to ask you this, talking about Trey Holly, Louisiana's all-time leading rusher in high school football, was at LSU. He showed up. Hey, somebody saw him and took a picture of him at Southern's camp, and then it just took off. And I'm sure you've been getting phone calls and texts and everything else in terms of the interest of, you got this big-time guy on your roster right now at fall camp. For you, opening the door for Trey Holly to come into the program and being a part of working out with Southern here in the fall camp?
I say it all the time, relationships matter. I recruited Trey in high school. So it's not like Trey and I did not know one another. I recruited Trey in high school. And so, of course, having that great, having a relationship with him and watching him go and do his thing at LSU. And unfortunately, those things happen off the field. And, the young man, he applied to school, got admitted, the whole nine, and asked me for an opportunity to come and be a part of the team. So, of course, we're going to open our doors and arms up to him. And like we would anybody else that, we know and we know of, and we want to give them an opportunity to continue to further their lives and their careers.
From a talent perspective, looking at your running back room, and I circle Trey Holly because of the big name, when you look at him and his attributes, what is it about his game that you really loved that had you recruiting him out of high school?
He's a football player. I mean, he is a football player. He runs hard. He catches well. He does all those things that a running back, you want a running back to do. And so, it's a reason why he has the accomplishments that he has. He just didn't wake up one day and become the young man that he is in terms of athletic ability. So he has the total package. But, talking about that running back room is real deep and it's very talented. I mean, to have Michael Franklin from Jacksonville State, you're talking about 6'2", 225 pounds. And, you're talking about a big running back that can run. He can run through you. He can run away from you. We got Princeton K. He's a slasher speed guy from Louisiana Tech. And, of course, then you added the Amarian Asbury from Southern Lab. Now, Double A is what I call him. Double A looks like he's a junior in college. He doesn't look like a freshman in high school. I mean, a freshman in college. He's a big, powerful, strong back. And then, of course, we have Barry Remo and Jason Gable from John Curtis. And so we got a really, really, really good, explosive, and talented mixture of great running backs. We got older, experienced guys, and we have really, really good young football players, running backs in that room.
I want to talk to you, too, about, because I know you've had your hands on the past with special teams, and I normally don't get a chance to get to special teams so much, getting caught up in offense and defense, but special teams for you this year, looking for that guy that can be that return man, looking for that kicker that can knock down kicks from deep, looking for a consistent somebody punting can pin an opposing team far down the field. What is special teams like for you this year?
It's improved. It's improved. We know that we didn't quite set the tone that we wanted to set last year, and that's been harped on, preached on, and working hard to really, really get that shored up. And signing Nathan Zimmer, state championship kicker from right here at Central High School, really helps us because he can punt, he can kick, he can do all three things and do it well. And then we have Kenneth Pham is back. He started really, really coming on towards the end. He spent a lot of the off season with some of the summer with one of the former NFL kickers that holds camps and things of that nature, and he went and really worked on his craft, and you could see it when we first got in and we had practice and we went through that segment. You could really see how he's worked on the technical parts and how stronger he's gotten over the year to really, really help us in that aspect of the game. And then we got a number of speed guys and even those running backs can return kicks, and wide receivers were talented there. And we have some really, really quick and fast guys who have return experience. So it's gonna be exciting to see how those guys because we'll do I don't know if a lot of people do that, but we'll actually have a special team scrimmage, and it'll be live because we want to find out who can do what when the live action is taking place. It's one thing to simulate it, but you got to actually do it so you know who you can put back there, who can get it done, and things of that nature. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how we'll do special teams wise this year. So the thing is, we want to be dominant in all three phases, and so special teams is something I don't take lightly, and so I'm excited that we where we are now and what we're doing.
And Coach Nathan Zimmer, he's been actually interning here at the Jaguar Journal. He's been working the soundboard behind the scenes, producing for us for the past 3 months, up into the fact that he got ready for fall camp. So, man, great young man coming out of Central. And if you ever need the mass comm side of things, that's your go-to guy, Coach. I'm putting you on. He got that side under control for you, especially being in front of a camera and speaking. But looking overall for this team, the quarterback battle is going to be the big thing coming into the year. But most importantly for me, how do you prepare a team for the big game like North Carolina Central? Two teams who can obviously compete for Black College National titles, can compete for conference titles. What does that process like to get your team prepared and up and go for a big game quick, fast, in a hurry?
Well, you definitely gotta execute every single day and dominate the day in terms of execution of what you're doing on and off the field. But, the thing that we talk about all the time, the unique thing about being here at Southern University, this is nothing new for us. We always on television. We always play in front of big crowds. We always play, on major networks. So the thing that we have to do, we have to just go business as usual. We got to focus and execute because, to focus on the external factors of it being, primetime television and, all the pomp and circumstance, which is great. It is. Love it. Excited, excited even thinking about it. But at the end of the day, we got to prepare to win a football game.
Mm-hmm.
And so how you do that, you got to go out and you got to execute in all three phases in practice, and you got to simulate and make sure that when we grade that film and we're watching that film, that our guys are executing at a high level to give us a great chance to come out successful. I mean, we're not going to build it up to be more than what it is. We understand and we know all the external factors. We know about, it's for conference bragging rights, all those great things, and we love that. But all that stuff has its proper place. The thing that we can't get caught up into those external factors and forget that we got a football game to play. We know that we know we're going to Atlanta, Georgia, playing in that great game, playing in front of that great crowd on national television, the whole nine. But we got to make sure that we execute and do what we need to do to come out with that, come out that game victorious. That's the goal. That's the mindset. And that's the way we approach it.
Two more questions before I let you go, Coach. One, for the fans out there looking at the football schedule, very favorable at home. Alabama State, who's going to be a contender out of the East. Jackson State, who won the East last year. You got homecoming against Prairie View, who a lot of people are high on because of the transfer portal and their new coach in Tremaine Jackson. Florida A&M, who's going to contend for the SWAC East at home. And then Texas Southern, who played us tough in overtime last year. Great home slate for home games here on Jaguar Nation for the Jaguar fans to come out.
Definitely. It's an excellent home schedule. We are excited, man. I mean, we are really excited. This reminds me of the 90s when I was here coaching, to have those teams come to A.W. Mumford Stadium, Coach Pete Richardson Field on a Saturday night or afternoon. I mean, it's down. You're talking about something that has me fired up. This home schedule has me fired up because I know that the Bluff Southern University campus will be packed week in and week out because those games are going to bring out those type of fans. And our players, we need that Jaguar Nation to come and really support us and get behind these guys because these guys feed off that crowd. I tell them all the time, football is like life. It's going to have ebbs and flows. It's going to have highs and lows. So how do you respond? And then when we're in A.W. Mumford and we may have a low moment and that crowd gets into it and the band, the jukebox gets to blowing, and those guys start to get energized, man, there's no other place to play college football like A.W. Mumford on a Saturday night. And so we're excited, man. We're excited to have the opportunity to host and have a great home schedule like we do. You know, we've heard all the stuff, and we know what people are saying. Of course, PV's coaches a little, using that as motivation. You know, we schedule them at homecoming. Sometimes coaches take that as disrespectful, and and the whole nine. But that's how it falls. But I mean, that all feeds into the game. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, whatever you say, whatever you have to say, whatever you need to motivate your guys, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, the game is going to be played. And like I tell my guys all the time, we respect everybody, but we don't fear nobody.
Listen, they scheduled me for homecoming. I'm taking this disrespect. You think you gonna get a dub on me for homecoming? You know, but listen, you're right. They got to put on their pants just like you got to put on your pants. They got to put on their socks the same way. The game has to be played. And the last question, Coach, is Fred McNair still on the staff? He's moved up from the tight ends to deal with the quarterbacks, a former standout quarterback himself in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Of course, Coach Tyden has since moved on, but to continue to have McNair on the staff and then him moving now working with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, you know, I said it last year, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. God bless me with a great staff. I prayed for the type of staff that I have. And, I am ecstatic, elated to have that staff. And coach, to have a championship former head coach as an assistant coach, as Coach McNair, has really helped me in my maturation as a head coach. I tell these guys all the time, I have no problem giving people their due. And I will say, having the opportunity to lean on Fred, to lean on Matt, for advice and sometimes, hey man, I run stuff down and just for confirmation and things of that nature. Man, that's a blessing. And then to have him in the quarterback room, like you said, he's the original Air McNair. So, to have that opportunity for him to be in that room, to develop and teach and groom those guys, you can't ask for a better situation.
Well, Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on. I know you got some things to take care of and get to today. And thank you for taking the time out, man, as the season continues to inch closer and closer. I definitely want to bring you back to ignite and get the fire burning under the Jaguar Nation. You know it don't take much, but they love to hear from our fearless leader, Terrence Graves, in order to keep instilling in them this championship culture, because the culture ain't just to build within the locker room. It's to build within the fan base, too. And that's to get the fan base to believe just as much as the team the way you want us to believe that, hey, we got a chance, but we all got to do our part. Fans, you got to show up to the game. You got to buy season tickets. You got to give back and help the program. To you, the players, the same thing. The product on the field. We all work hand in hand. That's what makes it the Jaguar Nation. That's what makes it Southern. That's what creates the pride, and why that pride has been going on decade after decade after decade. So, Coach, thank you for coming on this morning, man, and being able to share that information and to be able to talk to us about fall camp.
No problem, Terry. I really enjoyed it, and I'll definitely be back on to let you and the Jaguar Nation know the things that we're doing here at Great Southern University. We appreciate the support. We're excited, and we look forward to a great season. Go Jags.
Go Jags, man. Have a good day, Coach.
All right, you too.